Right, period 6. Welcome back. We are getting into lesson 702. Hopefully you had a good, got a good understanding on 701 for the first lesson, 701 for the intro. I'm going to be building off that today with something called U substitution. Let's warm up with a quick do now though. For questions 1 and 2, take about 5 minutes on your own. Pause the video, try those questions. When you come back, I'll review them. Right, you've unpaused the video. Let's check A, B, and C first. So if I'm looking for g of 1, I'm going to look at the function g of x, and I know that now x equals 1 for this. So if I substitute for what the function's defined as, I get the integral from 0 to 1. And then I know f of t dt, that's defined as e to the 3t dt. When we come here, we're just replacing things with t's, so our variables don't overlap. And then I know from yesterday, I can take the antiderivative of this using the anti-chain rule. So I get e to the 3t over 3, evaluated from 0 to 1. So we get e to the 3 minus over 3 minus e to the 0 over 3. This becomes 1/3 e to the 3 minus 1. You may have stopped here. Make sure you go the extra mile and simplify here. Let's go to part B. Now we're looking for g prime of 1. First I'm going to find g prime of x. Well, g is defined as the integral of f of t. I remember that when I take the derivative of an integral, I'm essentially taking the antiderivative but then taking the derivative. So they cancel out. I simply get f of x. So then g prime of 1 will equal f of 1, which equals e to the 3 times 1, which equals e to the 3. Final answer is e to the 3. Then let's go to C, looking for the second derivative of x, so g double prime of x. Well, I know the first derivative is f of x, so the second derivative would be f prime of x. So now we can just substitute g double, let's actually find out what that is first. F prime of x, that would be 3e to the 3x. So then if I find g double prime of 1, I get 3e to the 3 times 1. This becomes 3e to the 3. Those are the first 3 answers for the first 3. Make sure you have those down and make sure you know why we're taking an antiderivative here, why this one's so straightforward, and then why we do need to take the derivative here. Let's talk about number 2. Number 2, I'm given that the area underneath the curve g of x from -2 to 6 is 17. Area underneath the curve g of x from 1 to 6 is -9. Determine the value of the integral from -2 to 1 of g of x dx. So it's a couple things I noticed right off the bat is that these limits are from -2 to 1. Here I have -2 to 6, here I have 1 to 6. I'm going to draw a picture to help me understand what's going on here. -2 is a point I know, or a x value that's important, 1 is, and then 6 is. Let's pretend this is g of x. I know the area from -2 to 6. I know that whole area is 17. Then the area from 1 to 6 is -9. So 1 to 6, that's -9. So I know the whole area is 17. Then I know this part is -9. So I can do the whole minus the part to find out this area, which happens to be what I'm looking for. So the integral from -2 to 1, g of x dx equals 17 minus -9. This comes out to be 26. Make sure you have 26 on your paper, and we're done with the do now. In the next video, we'll be picking up with some notes and discovering what U substitution is. So make sure you have that do now down, all important review, and I'll see you in the next video.